Welcome back. The S6 Nifty is flat. The market's been anything but flat of late, of course, just all over the place. But have to say that more resilient, especially in the Indian context. We have Deven Choksey now joining us from Krchoksey Securities. Deven, hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the two stocks and news. Adani Enterprises, getting into Nifty and Shree Cement making its way out. What's your view on both these names?
Yeah, Anuj, good morning. Well, on one side, definitely, I think the Adani Enterprises entry would mean that higher amount of allocation of funds would probably be seen. On the other side, I think one would ask the question that how much additional fund would go into given the kind of valuation at which the stock is quoting. So that would be, I think, the other question. But as most of the funds are, the traded funds are, I think they possibly, go with the mechanical parameters, and as a result of which, I think one would possibly argue for the allocation of fund, and that's where I think the stability to increase in the stock price. Shree Cement per se, I think as I see it, I think the cement business, fundamentally, if I want to talk about, I think the business is doing reasonably well. And I think whatever the cost pressure that they have seen in the earlier quarter, possibly I think there is some amount of relief on that front at the same time. And because of the higher demand scenario continuing, the fundamentals of the business remain absolutely strong. For such reason, if exclusion of index, I think if the stock price gets corrected, to me, I think for the long-term investors, I think this could be a buy opportunity at the lows, because up till now, I think the stock has been quoted in a reasonably well premium valuations. I think from that point of view, I think the stock could possibly, be available at lower level. It would be a good opportunity. Of course, it has not performed and given return to investors in last 1 year or so. But the fact that I think the opportunity would arise when the stock price goes down because of these technical reasons, that would be an opportunity to buy for the long-term investors.
Deven, hi, good morning. I wanted your thoughts on how to approach M&M now. Yesterday, they recorded their highest ever SUV volumes at 29,500 units, which is an 87% growth compared to what they saw last year. So clearly doing very well. But do you think most of the good news is already in the price, or could there be more to go?
Yes, Sonia, good morning. Well, I would like to say that yes, I think most of it is in price. I think these numbers which are coming in is basically, I think, after the booking amount, I think, which the company has collected in most of the vehicles, I think, which they have launched in the recent times. So to a greater extent, I think the future month sale is also, I think, factored in and assured as far as I think the business of the company is concerned. And at the same time, I think the new vehicle launch is basically generating higher amount of excitement. So all in all, put together, the company remains in a very strong preference as far as I think the investors are concerned. However, I would like to believe that I think most of it, I think, is already priced in. And I think the upside in the price could be, I think, limited in this kind of a scenario. So unless market gives some kind of a price correction meaningfully, then probably I think one would buy. Otherwise, I think for mere 10-12% increase from current levels, I think one would probably like to wait for the opportunity to buy at lower levels.